Good afternoon, folks. We have a new tornado warning. This one is for Natchitoches Parish. Nothing new there. They have been tornado central today. Just pulling stuff up here and getting it together. Let me see here. So tornado warning in effect. This is going to be until 6:15 p.m. Just pulling up the text for you here. I know a lot of folks takes a couple of seconds to join in here, and of course I am most certainly going into the camera to pull that up. So this tornado warning, trying to find it. There are too many. Okay, here we go. For eastern DeSoto, southeastern Red River, southwestern Natchitoches, northeastern Sabine Parish, this is until 6:15 p.m. That is going to be... Sorry, I'm just moving things around. Okay. So that is at 5:27 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 11 miles east of Manny or 13 miles southwest of Natchitoches, moving north at 50. This is radar indicated, not confirmed. This is going to be around Coshada at 5:55. Other locations impacted by this storm include Lake End, Evelyn, Robeline, Provençal, Powhatan, Hanna, Allen, Hayswood, Armistead, and Ajax. So some towns that are familiar. We've been mentioning these names quite a bit today. And this is the storm in question right here. Pulling up Facebook just so I make sure I'm live. I think I am, though. I think everything was going through just fine. Yeah. So this is the storm in question. We are on the Shreveport radar here. Storm relative velocity showing, right northwest of Provençal, between there and Robeline towards Shady Grove, and then eventually up toward Allen, Lake End, and Ajax. That's where this is. This is going to cross a little bit, I think, to the west of where that storm that we saw earlier and we watched live here. I think that's going to be west. There we go. Had the audio up earlier. So now that's done. We have a couple areas of rotation there. Actually, a few. So let me make sure I don't see anything touching down. Do not see that there. So this is, again, we have a flood warning as well here, which I know if you're in Alexandria, you're looking out like we haven't seen any rain yet. And that's to be expected with a setup like this where we have these showers and storms that are kind of training over the same areas. And that's what we've been seeing today. Now, there is a bit of a bulge out to the east on this. And actually, what I'm thinking might happen is after this line comes through, it's entirely possible that we see things kind of settle down. And hopefully that'll happen sooner rather than later, because it has been one heck of a day out there. But flood warnings for Sabine, Natchitoches, parts of Wynne, and southern DeSoto Parish. But of course, the tornado warnings, these are the things that we are looking at right now. And this is in western Natchitoches, extreme eastern Sabine Parish in our area. So I'm going to hit pause on that. And we can go over to the camera and take a look at things. Probably not going to see what we saw earlier, which is just fine by everyone. That's Leesville. It's just raining real hard there. And looking toward the southwest from the camera right now, you can see how fast these cloud elements are moving by. We're seeing that on all the cameras right now. Really rapid low-level cloud motions. That's why we're seeing these storms that are producing so many, just prolific tornado production out of these. I'm going to look more toward the due west and see if I see anything different here. And no, we're not seeing that rock-solid wall cloud that we saw earlier. Now, it's entirely possible it's back here behind the rain. In fact, that's what I think we're going to have here. So, these clouds moving very quickly along here, showing that low-level wind flow that is just incredibly strong right now. And that's around that circulation with what is now Tropical Storm Barrel. Dew points at 77. Very warm, very humid. Wind speed now at 23. That was the last check that I had. I don't know why that's showing 2. Might have a data glitch there. But let me see here. This I can actually get you peak gust. I know we had a gust to 33 miles per hour a little bit earlier at the Natchitoches camera, the Natchitoches site, which is right on Turpin Stadium. So let me hit that and see what we've got. They've had 3.01 inches of rain. That's why you get your flood warning there. Wind speeds did pop up to 52 miles per hour. So that gust came through at 5:19, so about 15 minutes ago, hit a 52-mile-per-hour wind gust there. So tropical storm force wind gusts. We've got wind. We've got fast-moving clouds. Doesn't take a lot to pull those straight-line winds down. And, of course, we have the threat for tornadoes that we have been seeing. So let's go ahead and jump back over, look at the radar, and show you what's going on with this tornado warned cell. Also, just a quick note, because we are here, we have a confirmed tornado heading for Shreveport, and I do want to take a look at that because that is such a big population center. Let me see where this was exactly. And actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step through it on my own. Goodness, it's tough to see. Confirmed tornado, and let me just get the text on this for you. Scrolling on through here for Caddo. Confirmed tornado 7 miles northeast of Stonewall or 8 miles southeast of Shreveport, moving northwest at 20. So that would put that tornado, that was around 5:27, so that was 9 minutes ago. So that's going to be heading right up toward the radar site, and we should be able to see that pretty well. When you get close to the radar site, if you don't have a confirmed tornado, it's really easy to see that you don't have it. Right now, they are confirming this by radar, and I'm guessing that's where it was right here. Again, just a few miles southeast of Shreveport. So confirmed tornado heading that way. Again, if you are up in that area, you need to tune into local media so they can keep you posted. I'm going to focus more down here into the southern and central part of the state, where we do have storms, a line of storms kind of broken there that's heading out from Vernon and Sabine, Natchitoches Parish, and Beauregard, heading into our area. Oh no, Tom, we can't do that. Oh. All right, let's see. Am I still going? Tom jumped on. He was going to do a regular stream. Whoops. We're fighting for control. Let me see. I texted him. Usually that's quick. Let me give him a call. Hey, you never know what you're going to see here at Senlaw Weather. I am going to give him a call real quick. Okay, I got dots. All right, let me make sure we're still live on this. Okay, we are good. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still live. Okay, so we have a tornado warning going on here. This is for for Natchitoches Parish. Whoops, hit the wrong thing there. Okay, so that is what we have going on with this cell right here. I am going to go ahead and take a look at the storm relative velocity on that. And yeah, this is just west of Natchitoches, looking really interesting there. So this is going to be something that that has that potential, and there's actually 1, 2, 3 areas of rotation. I'll put that in motion for you. Again, we're on 30-minute lapses because this stuff, it changes so quickly. But that's what's going on right there. We have 1, 2, 3 areas of rotation. We're not seeing anything yet because we're looking from this area right here through all the rain and everything. So once that kind of clears, we are going to see, we're going to probably see that moving into areas west of Natchitoches. I'll put this up here. So Provençal, crossing 49 in multiple locations from about Allen down through the Natchitoches exit and then down toward the Cypress Natchez communities. You're going to want to seek shelter. Let's check the debris signature. Don't see anything on that right now. I'm going to look at the Shreveport radar. I'm sorry, the Lake Charles radar, and no, that's just noise there. So storm relative velocity. These storms are going to be lower. They're shallower. So we're not seeing these crazy big deep thunderstorms that we see in certain times, like in the spring when you get those traditional supercells to come through and they have 60,000 foot tops. So the low levels are rotating. When you get up to around 12, 15,000 feet, you might not be seeing that. And you can see here There's just a different structure to these. You can see that that rotation very clearly, and you can see that showing on the base and the storm relative, which is basically a product that allows us to kind of ride along with the motion of the storm, and it shows you the airflow that's going on within the storm. Kind of if we were just flying along with it and staying with that storm, that's why we can see that clear rotation there. And this is basically pushing toward the north, but you can see more of an easterly jog here as that whole line continues to kind of bow out toward the east now. And that's why I think we're going to start to see more of a threat here in Alexandria, so Rapides, Grant, Wynn Parish. We're going to see a bit more of a threat, but right now the main focus is this tornado warning here just to the west of Natchitoches, and we also have some strong storms, Leesville, down toward Dry Creek, Rose Pine, those areas as well. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the camera. I have not looked at it yet, but I would imagine we're getting close to, we're getting close to the heavier rainfall and all that stuff. So I am going to shift it southwest, take a look there. Again, I think we're basically, the problem with this one is we're going to have to go through the storm, and then we'll see something if it's there. You can see that wind just knocking these light standards around. We had a gust of 52 miles per hour about 10-15 minutes ago. Pay no mind to that wind gust right there at 2. That for some reason seems to be kind of screwed up. But we did see a gust to 52 miles per hour out there at the camera site. So that's what we're currently looking at. I'm pulling up other cameras just so I have everything here and I can kind of keep that. What I need to do is get one of those giant monitors that just kind of shows me and I can see exactly what everything's looking at like at all times, because trust me, I have way too many monitors right here. Okay, so Leesville, that's what I wanted to just take a peek at on my own. And they have seen about 3/4 of an inch of rain out in Leesville, but the rain is now, it looks like, past that site as well. So right now the main show is going to be this Natchitoches storm that's coming in. I am going to be watching that. I'll keep that on the camera, but we're going to keep the analysis up showing us the radar stuff. So tornado warning continues. We also have the flood warnings there. There is a confirmed tornado heading towards Shreveport right now, and this line right here you can see finally making some eastward progress, and this is the line that we're going to be watching as this continues on through the area, as Beryl continues to basically move toward the northeast up toward Arkansas. It's going to spread lots of heavy rain up to our north, and because of this quicker motion, I think we get some dry air in on the backside, and I really think rain chances are going to come down pretty quickly for tomorrow. So we're not looking at nearly as much as rain as I had thought we would get this week, but we are going to see some pretty hefty showers and storms for the rest of the evening here. Now let's take a look at velocity, see where we're at on that, and we still are seeing the same old stuff here. 1, 2, 3 areas of rotation. Let me see here. Yeah. So no updates on that warning right now, but you can very clearly see that rotation in there. And we're looking about 3,000 to 4,500 feet up into this one. If you're traveling from Natchez to Natchitoches up toward like Allen, that area, you are not going to have a pretty drive here over the next half hour or so as these storms are continuing to work toward the northeast, toward Natchitoches, an area that's been already pummeled. I mean, we've seen confirmed tornadoes on the north end of Natchitoches. We've seen that also. We've seen around Pleasant Hill. I mean, you name it. I mean, we've just seen tons of these touching down across the area today. And again, it's been breezy here in Alexandria, but we have not seen a drop of rainfall at the house just yet. So they canceled the tornado warning for DeSoto and Sabine. All right, so that's a little bit of good news for you, but that is not impacting what we're seeing right here with these storms. So let's go ahead and take a look at that radar and lightning and all that good stuff, and not a lot of lightning. So 4 or 5 strikes, it looks like, out of this storm. They just narrowed the tornado warning down a little bit. That was probably to remove DeSoto and Sabine. And just a little lightning. So we're not seeing a ton of that, and you're not going to be hearing a lot of thunder. So again, these storms may not have that kind of thing that you're typically going to wait for. You're like, well, this isn't loud. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, they're not as deep as your typical thunderstorm, so we're not going to be getting all that friction, all the ice particles and stuff slamming into each other. You just don't get as much lightning, so we're not seeing that with this line of storms right here. In fact, looking all the way down here into the south end of it, we're seeing a few more strikes across Beauregard Parish, but still not much going on. And putting things in motion, we finally are getting that push toward the east, so that at least gives us some hope that things are going to end here fairly shortly. Now the rain is right over the camera at Turpin Stadium there, so I'm going to be watching that just to see what happens when we pop out the backside of this, and we should be able to see that rotation at that point. But for now, tornado warning continues for Natchitoches Parish. Sabine, you have been cleared of that tornado warning, and hopefully we don't see some new development trying to form here out there toward Toledo Bend, because it's been one heck of a day for everyone pretty much west of I-49 or near that, west of 165 at least. It's been a busy one. You can see storms trying to form out here in Eastern Rapides and over Evangeline Parish. These so far have remained pretty shallow, but like I said, it doesn't take a lot to get these things rotating today. And I am just pausing for a second to look. Prion Lake boat launch. They were flooded down there. So got some coastal flooding down there. Tornado watch continues until 10. And hopefully we can clear it out before then. I think it's going to probably go up pretty close to that. And just to take you over and show you the Natchitoches camera real quick, it is pouring down rain as we're looking toward the southwest here. And the wind has been picking up again. I don't know why I'm not seeing that over here, but I can see it. If you go to the website, yeah, they're at 36 right now. That's where you get that live update. They just actually had another gust up to 48 miles per hour. So, no, 50. We did get up to 50 once again. So I'm watching that pretty closely here. So gusts to 50 out there in Natchitoches. You can see everything kind of bumping around there. And we're not going to just sit here and look at the haze. We will go, actually, real quick, what I want to do, not that one. I want to do the latest. So I'm going to step you through the forecast model here that's been showing, oh, goodness. See. Okay, here we go. So stepping through, and you can see how this is forecast to come through in the next few hours. It's going to take its time, but hopefully, again, this bows out a little. You don't usually root for that, but in this case, gets it through quicker. We have plenty of wind shear, so, we just want this to get out of here. Should cross into Mississippi around midnight or 1 a.m., possibly a little bit sooner, but notice the good news I see here is we're not seeing another line develop. Maybe something tries down there in southwest Louisiana, but it looks like this may be the last batch of showers and storms to roll through. And that is, of course, something that we are hoping against hope that we see. Pressure in Natchitoches down to 29.46, so that's actually below 1,000 millibars, so pretty low pressure there as this storm system continues to come through, and that's because these tropical storms, they have low pressure. They are just basically strong low pressure systems that are warm core, and we're not going to get into all the details on that, but you can see that they produce tons of wind shear and activity on that eastern side, and that's what we are most certainly seeing right now. Pumping winds back up to about 28 in Natchitoches right now, and it looks like we are getting through the heaviest of the rain right now, or perhaps that was a early little batch that came through. Anyway, let's take a look at velocity, see what we have there. And it looks like we have rotation crossing. We have it near Provençal, about to cross 49. In Natchitoches, it's about to cross there. And then another one up there around Allen that doesn't look quite as strong that is moving toward the northeast as well. So, where do we want to go? I know what I'll do. I'll look at the camera so I don't have to. I'm going to check the west view. Just make sure I don't see anything. Do not want to miss it. West, northwest, okay. Yeah, just seeing a lot of rain out there right now and winds gusting up for sure. So if you are in this tornado warning, I'm not seeing any confirmation of anything right now. Not seeing anything on debris tracker in that warned area that's co-located with the velocity signature that we are seeing now, one south and one kind of just northwest of Natchitoches. So that's why I've got the camera faced to the west, and I am going to just keep a monitor on that while we sit here and talk about what's going on with these warnings. But one tornado warning warning there in Natchitoches Parish for our area. Red River Parish is also included in this. And when we look down the line, I'm going to go to the Lake Charles radar for this and show you that there are more storms down here. And actually, probably a real healthy part of the line coming through Vernon Parish here. So no warnings on that one because we are not, it looks like, seeing the same kind of rotation as we are up to the north. This is the Lake Charles radar. Check the Shreveport. Yeah, it's not nearly as pronounced as what we're seeing up here with this area southwest and this one northwest of Natchitoches. So things kind of doubled up there. We've got two areas of pretty significant rotation, and this one not nearly as strong as it was on the north end. So we're down to two areas of rotation, which would typically be insane to say, but this has been one of those days where we've seen just lines of just mesocyclones and rotation and everything that's kind of coming together for a significant severe weather event. And we know this can happen on these tropical setups, and we are most certainly seeing that today. Strong winds, possible straight line winds above 50 miles per hour have been measured at the site out here in Natchitoches. So at the very least, you are going to see that. I'm checking to see, yeah, we have not hit 50 again, so that's good. We've had some 40-plus gusts here in the little last 5 minutes or so. And let's just jump over and take a look at that camera for a second. Looking toward the southwest now, we're starting to clear out just a little bit. Whoops, wrong thing. That happens from time to time, folks. You know, we're kind of on the fly here. All right, so it's going to take a second to update. It's going to go back to where the lights are here in a second, and that'll give us a little better view of what's going on. And yeah, it's poor contrast. That's why I try to get back and kind of see what I'm seeing here. Not seeing anything that's terribly concerning right now. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. I see a little better contrast on this monitor, so that's why I've been kind of looking over that way as well. But it does look like some sort of a lowering once again, though I'm not seeing something nearly as pronounced as what we saw earlier. So let's jump back to radar, see what we're seeing right now. I have this one up over here, and that's what we're going to be locked in on for the next little while. There is a new tornado warning. This is for Natchitoches Parish. So let's... Two tight circulations in Natchitoches Parish, one may clip downtown, is what they are saying. So, tornado warning for north-central Natchitoches Parish in northwestern Louisiana. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Natchitoches, moving north at 50 miles per hour. This is radar indicated. Be around Natchitoches at 5:55, so basically right now. Seek shelter immediately. And Campty around 6. Other locations include Black Lake, Grand Ecore, Chestnut, Creston, Ashland, Hazewood, Clarence, Powhatan, and Galdana. The usual suspects yet again. And it looks like we are seeing at least some sort of lowering here, so we'll go back over to that camera. And we have two areas, so I'm going to be kind of panning around to see what we've got going on here. So let's see what we have on that camera right now. We already did see the one tornado on this camera earlier today. I'm going to go a little bit. I'm looking toward the southwest one. I'm going to move this toward west, northwest, and see what we have there. Going to go a little further. Make sure we're not missing anything. We got that building there. So yeah, let's just go back to that southwest view. And there is your lowering. Let me see. Wind chill. I'm tired of these because they're not right. So they're going away. That is going to be a problem for later. So this is another lowering that is, we are looking, let me see, I'm going to go to the west just because we have presets in here. So this is looking west, at least per the preset we have in there. That is another lowering near Natchitoches, looking west from the camera at Turpin Stadium. That looks like what we call a CLC, creepy looking cloud, just some low hanging stuff there. But we definitely do have some degree of rotation in the clouds, and yet another storm we are looking at here from this Natchitoches camera that has the potential to produce a tornado. So let me, I'm going to look at this radar so I can keep this view up and see if there's anything that I am missing on radar. Yeah, we've got one northwest, one west. So we're looking toward the one to the west right now. And that one actually looks to be the tighter circulation. So moving. We're going to take one quick look up to the northwest. This is like the same thing we saw earlier. All right, going back. We're not doing that. All right, so again, crossing over Sibley Lake. And I'm sorry for the rocking back and forth. I just want to make sure that we've got the best view of this possible. One more little nudge to the right there. And so this is the strongest area of rotation. I'm looking at it on radar. This is right west of Natchitoches. You have a tornado warning. This includes Powhatan, Campty, Natchitoches, Clarence, eventually down the line. But the strongest rotation right now is actually located just on the west side of Natchitoches. And actually, I will go and we will show you the radar for a brief second here, and then I'll hop back to the camera. That is the rotation I'm talking about, and you can see this is closer together, more pronounced than what we're seeing up here around Campty and Powhatan. Now, it's possible that could also become something to watch here, and it's another area of circulation that certainly bears watching, but it looks like the rain has kind of taken over here, as we saw earlier. So let's take a look at that and see what we're looking through exactly. Yeah, because we're, looking from Turpin Stadium into this circulation here, and it's really tough to see exactly what's going on with the camera right now. That's another reason chasing is so hard in this state, and why your only hope to see these things if they're not rain wrapped is with these big cameras. So Campty to Powhatan, there's some rotation right there, and then Natchitoches toward the west between the city and the interstate, just north of Highway 6. That's where we have the most rotation, and I'm not seeing anything on the camera right now. I'm looking, trust me, it's all up. But it's just kind of where we've gone from where we could see that kind of rain-free base, and now that rain is really kind of shrouding everything here. But if you are in this area, if you are near Natchitoches, if you're on the west side of town there, you're going to want to, if you're anywhere from Natchitoches, Grand Ecore, Clarence, Campty, you need to go ahead and seek shelter right now, as this storm has the potential to produce a tornado and could happen fairly quickly. Looking to see if we have anything showing there, and thankfully we do not. So not seeing any sort of correlation coefficient drop. And I'll show you the camera real quick just to show you what I'm seeing here. It's the rain kind of broke just a little bit. There we go. But what I'm seeing here is not evidence of anything. I'm really, at this point, looking to see if I see power flashes or something like that, because we can't really see the structure like we saw earlier. This is a lot of heavy rain going on just northwest of town right now. We are looking in the direction of where something would be if it were happening right now. But fortunately, not seeing any evidence of that happening, but we do have a lot of wind happening at the site. And let me take one peek at that and just see what kind of wind measurement I'm getting. Like I told you, I moved off of showing you up here because it was just not working. It was not coming through correctly, and we don't have time to diagnose that problem right now. So we have not gusted past 52. In fact, now in the last 5 minutes, the highest gust was 36 miles per hour. So hopefully we don't see that increasing. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here on Facebook. We have a tornado warning ongoing for Natchitoches Parish, and this tornado warning is in effect until 6:30 p.m. So if you are in Natchitoches Parish, if you're in Natchitoches, Campty, Powhatan, let me see. Pull this up and we'll show you some other cities. Clarence, Campty, Fairview Acres. If any of this sounds familiar, you're going to want to go ahead and seek shelter because we have not one but two areas of rotation. This one here on the northwest side of Natchitoches that's moving toward the northeast, and I'll put this in motion on my own terms again here. You can see that thing moving toward the northeast, and these are going to run right over each other. So assuming this one were to strengthen as it heads up toward Creston and Chestnut, well, you get this one right behind it. So if you do see damage from something like this, if you see some strong winds or a tornado in Campty, you're going to want to hold off before you do anything because there is this coming right behind it. And that's been the big problem for today. We have a lot of areas that are seeing the same thing happen multiple times. You're getting a supercell to come overhead, and it's just continuing to impact the same areas with some very rough weather. So 2 areas of rotation we are watching right now. Just to recap, I am looking at cameras, looking out over Natchitoches, not seeing anything visible right now, and making sure that these things are staying well behaved and that we do not have any new tornado warnings. We'll take a look here through the Lake Charles radar. If you're wondering why I'm not using the one out there at Fort Johnson, it's because it's down until at least tomorrow. It would have been ideal to have that today, and we just do not. So that is the way it's going with that one, and we are not going to get that back today. Putting things in motion over the last half hour, there go the thunderstorms into eastern Vernon Parish and Beauregard. These are going to be moving into Allen and Rapides over the next little bit, and then I'll be watching these more isolated cells very closely as well. But we're really seeing the northern end of things has been where the worst of this has been for today. Just going to move it back to that and check and see if we have an update on this. It looks like this is going to stay just northwest of Natchitoches. But it is going to be a close call, so you want to stay in that safe place because these storms continue to show that strong rotation, strong couplet there. That it's not as strong as some of the ones we've seen with confirmed tornadoes today, but it's certainly possible that we'll see more. Wow. At this point, the Shreveport Weather Forecast Office has issued 56 tornado warnings for today. My goodness. Area of main concern with an evolving tornado threat will be the southeast tier of the area from Natchitoches east. So that's what they're saying from the National Weather Service office in Shreveport. And you can see here these couple of areas of rotation that we've been talking about. And those are associated with this line of storms that continues to move on toward the northeast. There could possibly be more rotation popping out of these areas down in the southern part of the line, and we'll be watching closely for that. But the wind shear is going to be a little stronger up to the north because that's closer to the center of the circulation with the tropical storm. I got excited. They canceled this tornado warning on the west side. They kept this one going. So that makes sense. I mean, I would be surprised if they dropped that tornado warning entirely. Here's a look at things in the big picture here. You can see we're finally getting that eastward component to things, so it looks like showers and storms are going to push over Rapides Parish and Grant and Wynn here over the next little while. I don't think we'll see the flooding problems that they're seeing up in northwest Louisiana because up that way they're closer to the center of Beryl, and that's why we're seeing higher wind shear, higher rain amounts, and really just a lot worse conditions. On the back edge of this, it looks like we might be done. So after this clears you, I cannot give you the all clear, but I can say that your chances are going to be better, that you're going to see some tranquil weather for the evening, although it's going to be a bit breezy on the backside of the storm. I'm actually going to take this camera and flip it around because whenever this thing passes by, we'll get a good view of the backside of it. Northeast velocity showing that it looks a little less crazy. So that was a pretty tight circulation there, at least, a few thousand feet up on the west side of Natchitoches. Now as this heads up toward the north, it looks like this one is a little weaker, and the one up toward Campty and Alpha is a little bit stronger. Still not seeing a real clear signature that there is anything on the ground or anything like that. I'm going to see if I can see a little better view on this. Oops, I always hit the wrong button. I'm just watching the camera to see if it, make sure the trees aren't falling or anything. Yeah, as it stands right now, I'm not seeing anything that looks imminently dangerous from this camera over Natchitoches. So if you are in that area, that being said, there is a tornado warning for you. This is not a watch, it's a warning, and this is going to be in effect until about 6:30, I believe. And we have two areas of rotation, one that is now moving up through Campty. That's the southern one now. And then the northern area that's a little bit further north up toward Creston, that's where that secondary area of rotation is. And this is all going to be moving to the northeast pretty quickly, about 40 to 50 miles per hour, as these all have been moving very fast today. Let me go ahead and show you the camera here in just a second. I'm going to go due north pretty much. Actually, I can't because that's where we get blocked. We're going to go close to it, though. I'll get it set up. But that is the velocity showing right there. Definitely some heavy rain and wind going on up that way. Natchitoches Parish, that is where the worst of things are right now. You are under the tornado warning until 6:30. And you'll see here that the camera is just showing a bunch of gray. It's just raining real hard. We do have an update to the warning, so I'll get you that. Yeah. So at 6:03 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Campty, or 7 miles north of Natchitoches. So we've seen that area of rotation move away from the city of Natchitoches. Moving north at 45, another storm capable of producing a tornado was just north of Campty. That was also moving north near 45. So they're seeing the two areas of rotation. Again, if you see a tornado out of this, give it a little time because you could see another one right behind it. It'll be near Campty. It is near Campty, so we're not going to give times on that. Other locations impacted could be Creston, Black Lake, Grand Ecore, Chestnut, Ashland, and Clarence. So just seeing rain on that camera, so we go back to radar and see what we have going on there. This is that area that was near Natchitoches that has jumped up to the north pretty quickly, and that's that second area of rotation. Not seeing anything showing up there, so we'll take a look. Again, I want to make sure I'm not missing any sort of new warnings or new suspect areas of rotation. Let's take a tour from south to north here. This is from the Lake Charles radar site. Maybe an area to watch there south of Simpson. That's probably right near or just east of Fort Polk. Cravens, Fullerton, that area. That is one that I'm going to be watching very closely. Not seeing anything saying that this is definitely for sure going to get warned, but that's kind of the first step you get on these towards something happening. There's your Shreveport radar showing, let's see, down here. It's totally missing it going over the top, but we do see a couple of pretty strong areas of rotation there in Natchitoches Parish, and these are continuing on toward the northeast, going to move up towards Saline, Ashland, Lucky. We saw a couplet move right over Lucky earlier, and it looks like another one could be on the way. But again, not seeing anything that's actually touching down out of these right now. So that remains the same. Just checking everything I can here to make sure I'm not missing anything. It looks like we're about to break out of the rain here in Natchitoches, though I think it'll be a little far away to actually see something because we're going to be looking more northwest, and this is going to be pushing toward the north. And we can't go any further to the right because we got a building in the way. That is the way it goes. So tornado warning continues, Natchitoches Parish until 6:30 p.m. We have not seen something drop out of this as it stands right now, but the warning continues. The circulation of Beryl is closing in on the I-20 corridor in East Texas. The pressure at the forecast office in Shreveport is down to 993 millibars. That's very low. So let me see the latest update on Beryl, since we're definitely watching these areas of rotation, but not seeing anything that's actually happening with those on the ground right now. Moving north-northeast at 16. And this is an interesting thing to put, but they said, barrels producing flash flooding and tornadoes. The deadly hazards remain after the storm, including down power lines. You don't want to mess with that. And carbon monoxide poisoning from improper generator use. So just some stuff to think about. Present movement is actually to the north-northeast at 25 degrees. So it's 25 degrees to the right of due north, and that's moving at 16 miles per hour. And the current location is 80 miles south-southeast of Tyler. That was as of 4 o'clock, so it has continued on toward the northeast a little quicker than that, and 110 miles north of Houston, so we can add about 30 miles to those. But close to home here, we have a couple of tornado warnings, one in Red River Parish, one up here. We have that continuing up into Bienville Parish as well, and then this one for Natchitoches Parish until 6:30, and it looks like we just got an update there, and still some rotation, but I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out and telling me that, yes, this is on the ground or anything like that. And now I'm just refreshing the camera to see if we have any sort of view to look at. And let me tell you, we have no view. I'll show you what I'm seeing. It is just, I mean, you can see it'll update in a second here, but you can see the clouds moving by as this line kind of clears out. And this was kind of what I wanted to see, behind it, see what would happen. I'd love to go further right, but you can't because we got a little building here. You can see that there. But this is the current look towards Sibley Lake. And obviously still raining pretty hard up here. Winds have been gusting over 40, 50 miles per hour. But look behind this as the dry air punches in. Check that out. You can see the raindrops falling still, but we see blue sky, which is something we have not seen a ton of today. So that is the look from the Natchitoches camera. I will send this back over to the right, and then I'm going to take a look, because that's the way we can see the base of this storm. Let's go to the right of this guy. And we got more guys there. Let's see. Yeah, and that's right back up into the rain. That would be the way we would see it if something actually were to happen there. But right now, it looks like that rotation is fairly broad around Campty. Still pretty decent, though. This area up here, just to the southwest of Chestnut, west of Creston, this is going to head up toward Ashland as it continues pretty quickly on to the northwest. Let's pull it out to the big view. Louisiana, reflectivity on Shreveport. We've got one cell here in southeastern Rapides Parish. We have the line that stretches through Natchitoches, Vernon, and Beauregard, moving into Rapides and Allen Parish, and then eventually Wynn and Grant as well. But not seeing anything that is rotating out of these, nothing that's necessitating a warning or anything like that. I do want to go in and just take a quick look and see what this one's doing, because these are the kind of storms that worry me, but not really seeing much there. And really just not seeing anything saying that we have big problems there either out of this line. Shreveport radar showing much the same story. Yep. And so I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I'm going to get on out of here, I think. Going to let Tom actually jump on and do a stream after this. He has so patiently waited, and you guys have been awesome as usual. Yes, we're down to a tropical storm on this. It's down to 45-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be a depression later on this evening. So if I see something jump on, I'll jump on, or Tom will be on. But I'm going to hop off now, let him do his stream, and I will see you guys in a bit. Hopefully not too many times tonight, but Tom's going to take over for a little bit.